Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one. Fanatics are narcissistic slaves. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about fandom. What we saw last week, last Saturday, I saw videos of the big streamer Kai Cenat, and they're accusing him causing a riot at Union Square, but it wasn't sanctioned by New York City. And then I saw a live stream of the professional, since he's a gaming YouTuber. He's a white boy, a Edomite boy, right? But don't understand our situation. I ain't gonna use race or anything. I'm just saying, yeah, it's some nigga shit. But in reality, he has to understand he's from New York and you live in what, Colorado? Dude, who in the world does not know who Kai Cenat is? He's one of the biggest internet, what you call it, streamers of the modern generation. I'm tell you something. That kid is a little entertaining, but the issue with his audience, you're gonna have, like, I hate to say they act like slaves that are controlled by the, somewhat of the matrix, but in reality, they're narcissistic. They're entitled morons, man. But we're just going after his fans, his fanatics. That's obsessed with success and clout. And someone said this in the comment section on the professional. I watched his take on Kai, and I did this yesterday. And I said what I said yesterday. I stand on that information, AP. It's not good for AMP. If I was them, they could have had a PR team. They could have had lawyers. They could have had agents to protect them for that. And I think they got some lawyers and money. They'll get off of it. They'll have to pay some of the damages. But he's not going to the prison. That's a good thing. But the kid's going to have to learn his lesson. Don't give out giveaways. And I never like giveaways and those channels that actually do that. It just makes them more entitled and spoiled in this country. Because most people, when they act so narcissistic, they just get emotional, like you see in these spaces. And no matter if it's white or black spaces, they do this shit all the time, and they ask for something that they can't have. You know what I mean? Because I was taught you got to earn for your work. When I was growing up, I had allowances, and I actually worked for mine, and I always did that. Even when I had the job that I recently have, like a couple of years ago, I did the same thing. I buy my own shit and whatever, pay my own bills, you name it. But a lot of kids, they're so narcissistic and slave driven. When I say slave driven, they're driven by Esau's bullshit. And he tell you, well, you can have anything you want. The trophy kids, the participation trophy kids. That's what they are. And most of them are narcissistic. I've noticed that about them. They're so entitled. That goes for both genders. And they're competing to be the best idiot and fools. And they act so derelict in that riot, too. They just tearing up shit, just crying. I didn't get a PS5. I didn't get a PC, whining and shit. And the cops did the right thing, but whooping their ass, because they ain't getting no ass whooping at home by both of their parents. They probably didn't have no mama, no daddy at home. And that's the audience that he attracts. But Kai understands this. You're 21, right? If I was Kai, man, at that age, he's not matured enough to handle a crowd like that. With a person with all that type of money, they said, he did that song with that cipher. He said Kick offered him, the guy named Bruce offered him, what, 40 million? That's a lot for a streamer. 40 million. A contract, right? Now, Rumble offered him way more than that. See, this is what happens. Just like in the NBA with Zion Williamson. I'm just putting this in perspective of athletes, entertainers, what you call streamers today on the internet, or you name it. Too much money. If you're that young, you don't understand the proper financial situation you're in. And the world teaches you how to be a narcissistic idiot and a slave to debt. It's just, I'm glad, what's his name, SMD, that was on Ramil's shit. Most people act like slaves, and they do. Because they always get trapped in these financial traps, and then you try to do these giveaways. Now you got to pay something off that you ain't should be paying, but you did it anyway. You caused the riot, and you're going to pay for it. But why in the world did you want to give everybody PS5s and then you ran out? See, that's bad. That's bad. That's just bad. Not just communication, but that's bad organization right there. It's unorganized. and it's foolish. But the young man, he needs to learn that lesson. The young man needs to be disciplined. He needs to get his ass whooped. I ain't saying they whooped his ass, but his followers need that ass whooping. They all need it. They all need discipline. See, the family structure has been dead. See, niggas want to talk about family structure. Well, this is a prime example of the riot. Now, I am not mad at the riot. That's typical shit that you see up in the Empire State, aka New York City. That's the empire, okay? The state is the empire. It's the empire based off America. It's an empire because everybody calls it Big Apple. No, New York's the empire. You go up there, you gotta have some fucking sense. You gotta have some, not just money, but be about your shit. If you don't act right, that goes for outsiders too. If you're about that shit, be about that shit. If you're about your business, be about your business. Don't bullshit around up there because that's how they get you. I went to a barbershop, right? And this guy, he traveled to New York and he couldn't bring his gun up there. And the reason he got caught up, I told him, well, you ought to know New York is territorial about weapons. You know that. They're not a stand your ground law state. They're a state that's about the empire. They don't want no terrorism. Y'all do forget about 9/11. And I'm like, come on now. Like 9/11 scared them to death. They don't want any weapon. Imagine niggas carrying RPGs and sniper rifles. They don't want that shit. They legalize guns. Niggas carry everything. They're so emotional. And I get it, because they don't want that shit. But the riots, them being like why I call them narcissistic slaves, look at them. They just tearing up shit, entitled, spoiled little kids, don't deserve that PS5 or nothing. I just feel like, why in the hell would you tear up a bunch of people's property? Hell, the cops deserve to whoop your ass. But that's just me. I look at it different. When I was younger, did we have thoughts like that when I was younger, especially before YouTube became more popular? Yeah, people was on that revolutionary time. They see things different. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, umpire, yeah. But it just goes to show you that Kai, what's his name, Castanet, the boy, right? He gonna learn. He gonna learn that at that age, he was young. He acts a little derelict sometimes, but is he redeemable in some aspects? Yes, but he has to control. He's not even 25 yet. He's what they say he's 21. Well, once he gets to 25, his brain will mature a bit, but he ain't gonna fully mature until he gets to my age. He gonna understand the shit he did then. He could have learned, and someone didn't guide him. See, all that money that he's getting from streaming is too much. I don't think he can handle that at that age. He should have waited. They should have gave it to him when he was like 25 or some shit, or later. What's hurting him right now is too much money. I hate to say this, him and Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, when they get paid millions of dollars like that, their agents should have just renegotiate their contract. Don't give him all that money because he can't handle all that. Now he's about to lose all that money to some damages in New York. They don't want to see him win. They ain't got nothing to do with that. You should have thought about that when you have an audience, and you should control them. You can't be like one of these influencers say, I can't control my fans. Yeah, you can. Those people are not fans. Most of them are entitled piece of narcissistic idiots that you got in every levels of society. Everybody wants your spot. They're jealous. He ought to know that. You got slaves. You got sheep. Man. You got them niggas. And they're dumb. They're not intelligent. They're dumb. They're like parakeets. But you got niggas want to cry. He called the umpire. He said, "What up?" Yeah. So shouts to the South Sands. But it's just crazy, man. Like narcissistic slaves, man. That's what they are. They don't know any better. They don't know any better. They just, I just had to respond to a video that I did yesterday, and salute the people that showed up and supported. But when I look at it, like I said, what's that got to do with narcissism? Well, their entitlement, their inflated egos. The people that you saw tearing up stuff from New York City, it's their inflated ego. Their inflated ego is what cost them. And you know, a lot of people got arrested. They thought they was entitled. I was supposed to get a PS5, PC, but people don't want to hear that shit. You damage people's property. That's vandalism. You can go to prison for that, for vandalism. You can go to jail for that. Vandalism is just what it is, man. You can't just go around and tear people's stuff and property and expect people to like you. It doesn't work that way. So if you're doing vandalism, you're actually hurting your cause. So vandalism is the way, they say, right? But it's really not. You're basically saying that vandalism is right, but it's not right because one, y'all have this slave-driven mind. Because most slaves were narcissistic back in the day, and in the olden days, the people chain up. They think one dimension. Now you got some slaves that weren't narcissistic. They were freedom fighters, and they fought to the death, right? They wasn't on narcs, but you got a lot of a mass of them were. They believe what masters say. They believe what they was taught by a sociopath. Yeah, narcissism has its way in society. I'm gonna break that down. Why inflated ego exists in children today. Why they deserve, they're entitled, and they got toys, electronics, you know, that has kitty shit in them, right? And when I was coming up, video games was a scarce commodity. It wasn't like my generation. The video games, they were something, but they weren't really the end all be all. Catch my drift. Like at that age, when I say ages, yeah, I was playing them, but they wasn't have been end all be all type of conversation, because you play certain games and certain genres, you got it, and then you just turn it off and then go to bed. But when I was like a lot younger, I remember it was no such thing as the internet on a video game. It doesn't exist. We didn't have the internet on video games. We didn't. I come from that old PS1, PlayStation 2, and prior. See, I'm older. When I was younger, it was a little different. We didn't have the things that my sister generation have, the entitlement, the narcissism that you got today. That's why a lot of people are so narcissistic, because society been pushing it for years and years, and they hid it from you, but they always had it. It's a historic thing. That's why America is so narcissistic and stupid, because they push that shit and they think that's good, but really it's not good. They always get killed first. They always get robbed first. Those people are so dumb, and that's why crime is where they are. That's why sociopaths are running around, psychopaths running around, and then you got narcissists perpetuate the same shit over and over again. And shouts out to Ed Lover, said this on Matt Papa. He said the men that was taken out of homes, that's football numbers. And I agree with him. But they didn't use the N-word, the actual real N-word with the A in it, with the R in it. You already know it's narcissism. It's in all communities. You're programmed to think entitled. Entitlement is the new religion of idolatry. All religions all have a form of idolatry, because all religions are idolatrous by Yah. Why? It's because y'all love it so damn much. Y'all love the narcissism and the entitlement, because they're entitled people. It's two types, really. You got the textbook, typical slave, narcissistic derelict, right? And then you got the other, the Kevin Samuels type, the dangerous type. He's community. He always trying to say, well, we need to help the black community. We need to help women. We need to help men, you know, get back in relationships. That's bullshit. No, you ain't. That's a hustle for your inflated ass ego, and you're way worse than the textbook guy. The textbook is easy to reform and clean up. It's the community ones that's perpetuating it. Guys like the audiences. Now, Kai, I ain't saying he's a narc, but I'm just saying don't have that personality, Kai. But hey, if you have it, I'm not surprised. But nobody talks about Kai like that. Kai's not a bad kid, but he has to understand from his mistakes. He will learn from this. He will learn that you cannot have everything you want. Now, all that money isn't good money. I wouldn't trust anything these companies will give you. But they gave him too much money. He don't know how to handle himself. He just went crazy. He got thirsty for some clout. Let's give out PS5, PC giveaways, electronics. Now he's paying for it. The Empire, aka New York City, the Empire, the city, Babylon, they will, what we call it, is destructive. And what they did to those kids, they showed you who they are. Yeah, they let you celebrate Union Square, but you're gonna get fucked up. But you gotta have permission. What do the laws say in they state? You got to go through them, the law enforcement, to get permission to have a peaceful assembly. So you can do that, it has to be sanctioned by law enforcement. Ain't that hell? What happened to Occupy Wall Street? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave that alone because we already know what happened to that. Government got involved. It's over, man. Like, society's dying. Wasteland culture is here. You already know everybody's not built for it. And like the title says, fanatics. I'm talking about fans. Like, people say they got fans on streamers. I'm calling all fans in general. This stream is specifically for fans. If you're a fanatic of these streamers, if you're a fan of these streamers, you're a fanatic. You're actually a narcissistic slave if you have that entitlement issues. Now, some fans, I wouldn't call them fans, I'll call them supporters. There's a difference. Supporters, they support the guy you support, or you're a supporter. But if you're a fan and you're crazed, you fit what I'm talking about today's stream. Because I'm sick of it, man. Like, let's call these fans out. These LeBron fans are narcissistic and they're dumb. They don't listen to reason. This is why I shout out the LDBC. They always criticize LeBron. Shouts out to Two Raw, all them. They criticize LeBron James. They give their takes. You say something to La Media and these streamers, they little followers, they're slaves, right? That the incident in NYC is a great example. You say anything negative about them. I'm talking about the generation youth, and shouts out to Ed Lover saying that we don't embrace you. Well, there's a reason why we don't embrace you, because they do dumb stuff, but they wasn't taught by their real dads, their real leaders. And what happened? They get football numbers. So you get things like this with the Kai situation and everybody else. They blame him for that, but it's really his fans. It's not him. He just don't know how to handle a bunch of narcissistic people that are entitled. Why? Because they understand they're worse than the well, the LeBron fans are worse. The what do they call them? LaDick Licks or Ladies. I'll call them Ladies. The Ladies. Anytime you criticize LeBron, they say you hating on LeBron James. LeBron's in your title. I'm like, every time they can't take criticism. See, they can criticize Mike and Kobe all day, but they can't. But they Precious Kane. You say something about they Precious Kane, they get emotional. And this has been going on for years. I mean, I've been on this shit for years and not been in this part of this live stream game like you niggas have been on. And I'm subscribed to Raw for years, and they've been battling LeBron fans for years. Anytime he fucks up in the playoffs, regular season, this is in general. Like, I'm talking about fans, and what I see with the Kai situation, I'm comparing to that because that's what happens when you have crazy fanatics that riot, tear up shit, and you can't have no protests because you got idiots out there wanting all the clout more than anybody. So Kai made a mistake going out in Union Square. I know he's from New York, but goddamn, man, you should have known better. You should have went to the peoples. I mean, the government. They would have protect your ass. If you're a celebrity, you're a celebrity, man. You're not a normal person. Once you're making all that type of money, like 100 million he makes, dude, you need a security team, bro. You can't walk around here naked. They had to protect his ass from getting killed. You know what I mean? But Kai, man, get it right, man. Get A&P right. Don't let A&P fail because of your BS. Y'all have an image and a brand to protect. That's what matters. Everything else is bullshit from here on out. So I don't want to hear about that riot. That riot is one-sided. Blaming one person, nah, I blame his fans. Yeah, he's gonna take full responsibility. He's taking accountability. That's a good thing. But his fans, he just need to weed them out. That's what Kai need to do. And just have a security team. Just build your foundation. A&P needs that. If they're the best entertainers that y'all like on the internet, they need that. But a lot of people on YouTube, they so dumb. Like I said in the titles and videos, they're fans of these damn so-called content creators. They get emotional. They think they're celebrities. You're paying for it. You think people care about y'all? No, they don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all just a fucking number to them. You're a number to them. You're a boo-boo to them. He said, who are you? I was like, who are you? I'm your fan. And they look at you like you're a slave. Like, get out of here. That's what they think of you. That's a shame. And some girl was crying for Kai. In one clip, shouts out to Shy BC2. He was showing a clip where Kai was consoling a girl. That's some weird shit. But hey, that's what you get. That's what you get when you have that type of large audience and they watch your streams all the time. They say he came from TikTok. No, he came from Twitch, then TikTok, and then he got popular. He did something on TikTok, and that's what really made him popular. I don't even watch his content personally, but I've seen some clips of him having fun. I mean, the young niggas having fun. He entertains people. He's an entertainer. That's all he is. I would say he's an entertainer of the internet. I don't even view him as a so-called streamer. I hate the term streamer. He's just an entertainer. Now the articles call him a streamer, but he's really an entertainer. He entertains BS and nigga shit. That's all it is a bunch of nigga shit he's talking about. If you like that sort of thing, on Twitch, Kai's like an example of all content creators. Now, shouts out to Daquan Wiltshire. He's a comedian. They fuck with Kai. Like, it's a lot of people fuck with him. They like his entertainment. If you like that type of stuff, hey, have at it. I'm not tripping. I don't even watch him like that. That's just me. I mean, I'm not into that, but that's his thing. Now, I know he's cool with U-Rage. U-Rage is cool with him. That 2K shit, he's out of that community and it blew up. It's just went out of control. He's young. So they all met up and called themselves what? AMP. AMP got to do better. Get your boy Kai out of prison, man. Not prison, but, you know, dealing with law enforcement. Excuse me. He's not in prison. He's out. So I just don't understand, man. They're narcissistic slaves, man. I don't get why people love them so much, like these entertainers. It's just, I understand fans, but they ain't got enough sense to think outside the box. Now, if you're a fanatic of the content of the internet, that's different. I'm not talking about like that. That's things and stuff. But a person, you go too far. Worshiping another man and all that, that's idol. And religion is way worse than that because they got idols to worship another man. And your ass is bent over, ready to get taken. But that goes for all three religions, equals what? Idolatry. They represent idolatry. They don't represent the Yah of hosts. Everybody's getting punished for it, for not serving them, treat you like outcasts. No, I got the truth over here, baby. Genesis to Malachi all day. The Tetragrammaton / what you call the Book of Remembrance, or what you would say the Old Testament. I serve that over here. I don't care about the New Testament nonsense. I don't care what people think. Y'all can have Yahshua. I don't believe in Yahshua. This is not a Yahshua channel. At first it was a little bit, and I had to tone it down. Go back to the actual word. Those guys on the street ain't got the truth. They're frauds. They're agents. I can't find, oh boy, we talk about that a lot on YouTube, and I wasn't making no videos then. But the live streaming thing birthed my channel back up again. So, as what I'm saying about Castanet, his situation, I know his fans are narcissistic. They're dumb. They don't care. I just want to see Kai. That's your damn problem. That's your motherfucking problem. And then they want to act like they care about you. They don't care nothing about you. They care about what they can get out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not feeling that. So we know it's fake on the internet. Speaking of the internet, I had this one girl, I think she blocked me. I think I was followed her, and then she does crocheting. Man, that's a weak. I won't say she's a harlot though. She's weak, and she's on that same sexual tick. You know, I'm not into they little arguments. They're so dumb. It's just crazy. Like, you know, the females on Twitter are weird anyway. I learned not to mess with. I avoid them all costs. in conversation. You know, you can't have nothing no more. I mean, it used to be friendly conversation. It ain't nothing on no sexual tip. You know, just say, hey, what's up? Hello, you know, all that stuff. But no, it has to be something extra for them. Y'all got to stop, man. Like, y'all looking for relationships on the internet. I'm gonna talk about that in the stream. Y'all need to let that shit go. You're never gonna get no man off here, man. Let that shit go. That shit is stupid, if you ask me. That shit is stupid, you ask me. That shit is stupid. He said, I could never get down with those streamers. They're weird as fuck. And obviously for an impressionable audience. Yeah, that's the problem. And those impressionable audience are not narcissists though. The ones that mean well, but we talking about the ones that's his age and on around my age. They're entitled. And they love this dude. It's sad. I can't get down with them. That's why I don't watch this shit like that. They are entertaining on the algorithm. But man, I can't get down with them either. I agree, Soft Sands. It's just these niggas is weird, man. And I thought the manosphere was bad. No, these motherfuckers is weird. Imagine them taking certain spaces. It don't matter. They everywhere. You say something bad about Kai, they attack you like you crazy. Ain't that some shit? Y'all just hate, man. You know, they sound like what's called LBJ's stands, which we call them Ladis over here. You know, a lot of people call them Ladick Licks, but we call them Ladis. And they always want to be on LeBron James' knob, but I'm gonna say pause on that. But man, it's crazy. See, La Media done controlled everybody from ESPN. That's what he wants. He wants that narrative. That's that entitlement, man. Like I tell you, man, everybody loves entitlement. They want to be a narcissist, man. The born narcissist is just basically the Kevin Samuels type. They're dangerous. But the textbook, we already know they're slaves. They don't know any better. That attitude doesn't work. And if you're too far gone, you better off yourself. You're out of there. I can't save you. I can't wish you no prayer. No, you effed up. You chose the wrong side, and there you are. Bye. So I told them they come to this channel. Bye. Don't deal with you. Bye bye. Hey, what's going on, Queen? A salute. But it just shows you, no matter what side, what a narcissist will be, no matter if it's two genders or not. I'm just looking at it. They're fanatics, man. But that Kai thing that I saw in those videos and recent videos that people post about him, when I saw the riot again by this guy named Professional, he's a video gamer. He was upset with him with the riot. Well, he's from New York, white boy. I don't think he understands black culture and streaming. It goes together. I don't agree with their culture. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the younger generation, they're lost. They ain't got no guidance. They ain't got no fathers in the home. And most of them were male. You know, yeah, it was some females acting stupid and crying over one man. But these kids need father structures. Now, their mamas is always in the home. Sometimes their mom died from addictions and things like that. In certain, you know, it's like a 50-50, or most of these kids are orphans. They don't have no structure. But see, when you take the man out of the house, Ed Lover said, you know, the football numbers, he said, everybody's getting football numbers, which they are. There's no guidance of that. Now, I can't speak from a father perspective, but I am a son that has a father. I know what fatherhood looks like on my father's lens. He did his best. Parents did their best. I've had a two-parent home structure, so I can speak like that. Now, most people can't. I understand they didn't come from a two-parent home. And let me tell you something. I got cousins on both sides of the family. Some did, and the rest didn't. They just had one father was there. They got divorced, and one just didn't grow up with a father. Or then I had my cousins sleeping around. So nobody's perfect on both sides of my family. I'm just gonna let y'all know that. Okay. That's just me. That's my experience. But I didn't judge them because I didn't understand what that was. Now I know what it is. It is what it is. That's their life. I can't hold their hands and tell them everything's going to be all right. Don't work that way. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. It works the way it's supposed to be. But why in the world that these kids are gonna be narcissistic? Like, I'll tell you why. They're entitled. They're too busy worrying about the wrong things. I think when the world teaches them about narcissism, they try to say, well, I'm not entitled, I'm not inflated ego. Well, you have it. The very base of this country teaches you that. They want to just, I wouldn't say bully, but I want to say like think they know everything about somewhat of the world. Now, some people call them know-it-alls. Some of them can be know-it-alls, but some of them can just be arrogant and just say, I'm entitled. I don't care nothing about you. I care about is me, myself, my feelings, or whatever. You got that from females, you got from dudes. But the biggest one of all time, the community one, is Donald Trump. He's the biggest narcissist of all time. Now, his fanatics is ignorant. His fanatics is ignorant. And they think he gonna win the presidency, which he ain't. Nobody's not gonna support a dude like that. Let me tell you something about Kai. Kai is young. I'm gonna give him a pass. He needs to be disciplined, but I'm gonna give him a pass of his age. He's going to need to learn something. Be careful what you wish for next time. So when you have a guy that loves streaming, just be mindful of what you're doing. Just be mindful of what you're doing. I'm just saying that in so many words, you just want to look at this and say, hey, what's the point in streaming bad or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I get the context. I get the problems. Oh, it's only 80 degrees right now. It's going to be 92 today. I'm going to get inside. But I'm getting my vitamin D. I'm walking out here. And it's like a good stress relief. I told you I can vlog stream all day and then people come in and out. I used to have a lot of people come in here when it was snowing. I should say like, was it 4? Well, was it? I'll say 2 years ago. Yeah. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I was out here, in the winter, speaking my mind while here. I'll never forget. And it was fall. Them days, that was 2 years ago. That was 2021. 2021 was a hell of a year. When I started streaming, man, my shit went through the roof. I was talking about all types of topics. I was acting a damn fool out here. 2021 was a good year. It's a good year. It's a good year. I look back at it now, it's wild. It's like a blur. I did the same thing in 2022, but a lot of streams, I told y'all 2 years ago, a lot of things is changing, landscapes and all that stuff. But the narcissistic slaves, man, I just can't deal with it. But most people that have fanatics like that, what you say, fans or these streamers, all that, they're nothing but bot slaves, man. Have no emotion, don't care about one another, and that's just it. So you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna get off here, man. That's all I gotta say. Cause yeah, that Kai situation is wild. And I think Kai should understand, man, you gotta be careful next time, man. These fanatics are bot slaves, man. I don't think he's ready for all that type of money, and I think Rumble offered him too much. He's gonna have to look at his future, man. Like this shit is wild. That shit is wild. So with that, peace to the people that come to the chat, Soft Sands and Queena. I'll say shalom to the people of Israel, of course, and the Gentiles. Shalom as always. And I'll see y'all this week on Thursday Thrills. I may drop something Wednesday. Talk about some political content. You know, I'm just gonna let y'all know. So with that, I'm signing off and I'm out.